Welcome. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Friday, January 15, 2021. For today's editorial, more than price, the bigger issue is COVID vaccines' efficacy and safety. When the Senate resumes today, January 15, its public inquiry into the government's procurement of vaccines against COVID-19, it will be entirely fitting for our senators to ask, first, about the prices of the vaccines that have been ordered, and second, about the efficacy and safety of the vaccines. It will also be appropriate for lawmakers to ask whether specific COVID-19 vaccines will be effective against the dreaded new variant of the disease, which is reported to be already in the country. When Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. was named the vaccine czar by President Rodrigo Duterte, it was not specifically his mission to find and purchase the cheapest vaccine available, as he seems to infer when he announced the other day that the government has committed to buy millions of doses of the Sinovac vaccine from China. His charge, as we understood it, was to effectively manage a vaccine acquisition and vaccination program for the nation. Price is not the principal issue in the acquisition of vaccines for our people. More important and vital is the efficacy and safety of the vaccines selected and purchased. This is the reason why there is much public talk about whether the vaccines selected have successfully completed clinical trials before being put up for distribution and public use. The elaborate arrangement for an executive session to ask government officials to disclose the prices of the millions of COVID-19 vaccines that will be bought by the government is not entirely necessary. The price and quality of the vaccines should not be regarded as an official secret or subject to non-disclosure. It is logical and imperative for the public and the Congress to know the facts about the vaccines. Several lawmakers and groups have raised questions about the administration's seeming preference for the Chinese-based Sinovac vaccine despite its higher price. The government's decision to procure vaccines from the company must still be defended cogently by Secretary Galvez as vaccine czar. Senators want to know from executive branch officials concerning the details of how the government will spend the $72.5 billion funding that has been allocated for the COVID-19 vaccines under the 2021 national budget. The Senate hearings come in the wake of several controversies surrounding the government's vaccine procurement plan. In December, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III was accused of having caused the loss of a supposed deal for the country to secure the delivery of 10 million doses of U.S. drug maker Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, it was revealed that members of the president's presidential security group had been inoculated with presumably smuggled vaccines, as regulators have not authorized the use of any COVID-19 vaccine in the country. The Philippines has already secured from Sinovac 25 million doses of the vaccine, according to government officials, and that 50,000 doses of it will arrive in the country by next month. Still, it is not impertinent for senators and the public to ask about their efficacy and safety. It will be a mistake to hide the issue behind a non-disclosure agreement between our government and the manufacturer. Transparency is everything in the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines with precious and scarce public money. Otherwise, lack of trust could very well induce the public to refuse inoculation with the vaccines. Additionally, there is the urgency for the government to acquire the most effective vaccines because it has now been confirmed that the new variant of COVID-19 has arrived in the country. President Duterte himself expressed concern about the new variant's arrival in an address to the nation on Wednesday. He described it as a monster and then made a show of praying to Providence that it will not be more dangerous or more toxic than the original COVID-19 disease. This is a matter that should be subjected to thorough verification and investigation by national authorities on the pandemic. We should not even try to judge this on our own. That's the editorial for January 15, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.